All right, actually, I don't know why I started the car if I was going to film. Getting ready to go head to the gym, hit back. Today was going to be a rest day just because I had a bunch of shit going on. But I got that stuff done and I feel pretty good, so I think I'm going to go ahead and hit back. It's not me skipping a rest day, though, like a planned rest day. Because of the stuff I had to do, I kind of was like, well, I'll just take this rest day after 2 days in a row on instead of 3. And then I'll just do 3 in a row and then take a day off later. But I don't know, you get a vibe sometimes that it'll be a good lift, so I figure I'll go ahead and hit back. I'm going to bring in, I think, do a little bit more trap volume than I've been doing. I just been basically maintaining with traps, and I don't think they've shrunk or anything, but I kind of like to, they're not as crazy as they were. I guess just because, you know, that you hit something consistently and it gets that kind of like about to burst look after a while. I just kind of want that. But I'm just rambling. We're going to go ahead and hit back, and I'm going to try to film a little bit in there today. I've got my big tripod and this little one that I've got sitting up right there, so I should be able to get some footage. I've got to get better about just making this a habit to film, because as you saw, it's very common for me to get overwhelmed and not upload for 2 weeks. So we're trying to, I want to get at least a video a week. I mean, come on, that's doable. I just got to get my shit together. But all right, guys, I'm gonna head on down there. I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Boy, I might go ahead and do like I did in the last video and kind of just set the camera somewhere and get some audio on the way that I could play over the footage if I need to, like if I don't have time to do a voiceover. And the last video, man, I'm pretty pissed off about it. I was really happy with it, and then I went to save the video. I use an app called Video Shop, and I also use iMovie. But the main, like, text on the screen and all that stuff I do in Video Shop. Well, I went to save the video and made the mistake of only watching about half of it back before I hit upload. And then it uploaded, I went and I watched it back, and I had imposed images up on the screen, and for whatever reason the file got corrupted, is what my wife said. It put the imposed image, instead of off to the side, it smacked it dab in the middle and left it on the screen for the last like 5 minutes of the video. So it covered my whole reel, and it covered, I had added in a back day segment that I filmed the other day where I was discussing myo reps and rest pause, and it covered that up as well. So I just went in and went into the studio app and chopped off the last 5 minutes of the video. But what I think I'm going to do is, because today is back day, I'm going to film whatever I filmed today, and I'm going to include that footage where I'm talking about rest pause in this video, because I thought it was a cool clip, and kind of for people who don't know rest pause, I felt like that would be beneficial. So anyways, I'm gonna shut the hell up and get down there, boy. All right, I'm not demonstrating form for this movement. I have to stand this way with my back, but I am just demonstrating my pacing and my rest periods in between. I'm doing like a rest pause myo reps kind of thing right here, and what that is once you hit failure, you're going to rest for just a few seconds, just long enough to kind of catch your breath and be able to get in a few more reps. And what that does is it keeps you in that those reps that are close to failure. So like the reps at the end of your set where it starts getting really difficult, that are close to failure, those are the reps that stimulate growth. Those are the hypertrophy reps. So when you do rest pause, you get right back into that zone. Basically, you're skipping the reps that, I mean, they're not junk, but they're not the growth reps, the ones leading up to there. So you're kind of skipping those and staying in that zone where those reps are close to failure and are going to stimulate growth. Another thing is, of course, as you should always be doing, I am doing a slow eccentric. There's a couple times where it just kind of goes a little quicker than I would have wanted, but you should always be trying to do those slow eccentrics. All right. So my wife got me a little portable microphone kit thing with a receiver and 2 clip-on mics so that I can talk in the gym and not have to yell, and can actually talk about what I'm doing as I'm doing it if I need to, but it also works really well for voiceovers. So, so I started off with rear delts. It was back day. I do rear delts on back days and shoulder days. But I brought 2 tripods with me, right? And I'm still getting back into the swing of like being comfortable filming in public again, just because I stopped doing it for a minute and it kind of threw me off. But I brought my big tripod and my little one, and at first I was kind of easing back into it, so I was kind of, just setting the small one down. So that's why we've got these kind of weird camera angles in the first few clips here. I play around with pec deck for rear delts. Sometimes I'll do unilaterally, where you sit sideways. I like it. I've kind of mentioned this before, but people talk shit on it. I just feel more of a connection with it, and I feel like it hits them a little bit better. But whenever I am pressed for time, or I just don't really feel like sitting there doing one arm at a time, I will just go ahead and hit both at the same time. Again, with these weird camera angles, I don't know. I edited this video in CapCut, and I like it a lot better. The way I was doing things was I had to record on my phone and then airdrop everything to my iPad, and then take all of those into iMovie so that I could cut stuff, because I just like how it cuts better than Videoshop. And it's a lot of transferring and airdropping stuff. With CapCut, I can record, not have to transfer anything, edit the entire video on my phone, and I'm good to go. And I can do my voiceover and everything in here. So I'm going to probably be using CapCut for my next, unless I find something better. And again, yes, I know there's some scars and stuff back there. And I'm very aware how much my lats need improvement. As I've said before, I didn't really train back as well as I should have the first few years. It just kind of, I think a lot of people, when they first get into lifting, they fall into this thing of only training muscles they can see when looking in the mirror. And your back and stuff, for some people, can kind of, go on the back burner. And as you see, it's like 130 pounds or 150, I can't remember, but it's not a lot of weight. I'm not the strongest with back, But, yeah, I feel like I'd be a lot stronger if I had hit it right to start with, but it is what it is, so. But, again, I try to do very slow, controlled eccentrics. And I know I always preach that, and I don't shut up about it, but it really does. For me, anyways, it makes all the difference in the world. I've tried, there's a machine for your lats at my gym that I like, and I'll probably, maybe next time I'll film over on that. I didn't film every movement I did. There were just some where I didn't really want to put, there wasn't like a lot of room for the tripod, if that makes sense, like without it being in the way. And so some of them I was just said, fuck it, I'm not going to even try. But there's a machine that I really do, I do like a lot. It's got those kind of free rotating handles so you can do different angles. And I like it quite a bit. There's a row machine as well I really like, both leverage and like a stack. So like leverage machine with plates or a stack. There's two row machines that I really, really like. And it's not, like in addition to these, it's not this one right here. And again, not a lot of weight, but I'm trying to do very slow, controlled reps. And another thing, I don't want anybody copying my form on anything, because I'm sure my form is ass on a lot of stuff. Like I said, a lot of things I learned by just doing them. Not even, I mean, I watched videos upon videos, but there's some movements that I just never took the time to go watch a video on and just kind of started doing them. So if I do something that's like, oh shit, what is he doing? It's probably because I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, my form isn't ever what I'm demonstrating. Like I've said before, I'm sure I do some things that are not proper form and would probably hurt some people, but they work for me and how my body is set up. I keep kind of pausing so that I can recollect and say what I want to say. And I made a post about this the other day, but I thought I might want to talk about it in a video. I was just basically going into, like, everyone has a thing that they wanted to do, that they wanted to try, and they never did. And I think a lot of times it has to do with thinking you're not good enough, or it'll be too hard. And man, you just got to go for it. Do it, because I think a lot of people have this issue where they want to be a master of something on day one. They want the end result without taking the steps to get there. But I'm telling you, like, you're going to be much happier if you tried and failed, and you will fail over and over and over again. But each time you fail, you're a little bit closer to where you want to be. And then eventually one day you're going to get to a place and you're going to look back and you're going to be like, fuck yeah, man, I'm really glad I did that. That paid off. And that's the thing is I've said it before, but nothing worth having comes without hard work and consistency. So I'm telling you, like, if there's something that you want to do, whether that's lifting or learning how to play guitar or draw or whatever it is, right? Start. Just start. You're going to suck at first. Skill takes time to build up, and you're going to improve. Every single day you do it, there's no other option but for you to improve at it. So I'm telling you, man, just go for that thing, whatever it is you want to do. Just do it, man. Don't fucking, life is too short to sit there and squander your potential because you're afraid of failure. And the thing with lifting, man, you can't fail. Like, you can, but that's the goal. You want to fail with that lift. You want to fail that rep, right? You want to hit failure. But I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling, but I really do think, man, like, people hold themselves back, and they shouldn't. Another thing I was kind of thinking about the other day was, and again, this is something I've touched on a little bit. I've talked about how part of my issue with filming in public is I don't want people to look at me and say, who the fuck does this guy think he is? He must think he's fucking special or better than everybody or something like that. Like, why does he think he's so special? Anybody wants to watch his fucking stupid video or whatever. The idea of anybody thinking that I am arrogant, it fucking cuts right through me, man, because I cannot stand arrogant people. But there's a difference between arrogance and being proud of your hard work. And the idea of somebody thinking, oh, this guy's in love with himself. I don't think I'm better than anybody, but there's a difference between thinking you're better than everybody else and loving yourself. You're supposed to fucking love yourself. You need to love yourself, and you need to better yourself every day. I don't know. I don't know. Philosophical Jason has left the chat. Anyways, yeah, I was kind of playing around with that little tripod, and this is kind of how I film my reels. A lot of times I'm just holding my phone, but it's on a little tripod here. But I wanted to do kind of a sideways one so that I could actually have it big enough for you guys to see on the video, because it always shrinks it because it's, vertical. But I usually film like one halfway through my lift and then one after, and the reel will be after all these lifting clips. And you'll notice in some of the clips, they're done before I hit traps. And then I went and I hit traps and stuff, and I came back, and the trap pump had had been acquired, and it was very obvious. But I think stuff like that's interesting, and I really am. I'm going to take the time to film one before I lift without a pump, film one in the middle of lifting, and then I'm going to film one at the end, just for the comparison and to see the difference that a pump makes. I don't know. I'm fascinated by that, and I always have been, and I probably always will be. I generally, with these shrugs, well, in all shrugs really, I try, and because I'm using 3 plates on each side, it's a little harder here because it's kind of just a little bit heavy. But I generally, with shrugs, you want to pause at the top for a second. So you'll notice I kind of stop up at the top for just a second and hold it and squeeze, and then slowly release. It always kind of looks goofy because it's such a small range of motion, but I do these for traps, and I do the opposite side as well. And then I also do those the way I stand with those rows, it hits the traps a lot. Not these rows, the other landmine rows I was doing. This is towards the end of the lift, and I was getting pretty burnt out, so I just lowered the weight a lot, and just was kind of just getting in reps, getting in volume, going for a pump, and it is what it is. But I that's why I never make fun of people for what weight they're using. I think that mentality is fucking stupid. You don't know where that person is in their lift. You don't know if they just did a drop set. So if I come in and I see a dude over here struggling with to curl the 15s, I don't think anything of that, because I know what it's like to run from, you know, the 45s down to the 15s and back up in a pyramid set. By the time you get to those fucking 15s, I mean, you do a drop set, by the time you could go down to 5s and struggle with them 5s by the end of it. So I always just thought that was dumb when people, dude's only lifting this much weight. It's like, dude, it's really not about how much weight you lift. It is about getting the best stimulus. And, you know, I've talked before, I try to do a mix of both. I try to do my heavy stuff with lower reps, and then I do lighter weight or moderate weight, higher reps. I tend to lean more on the higher rep side, but I always try to get my heavy stuff done first. And then this is the reel that got cut out of the last video, where it slapped the image over top of it. I notice I do that same little step thing in all of these. I don't know, I guess I just kind of fall into a pattern. Still haven't learned how to pose, probably never will. No, I will someday. I really, really should. Because right now, all I know is how to do that right there, which is stand there and look like I'm trying to crush my phone. It's almost like a most muscular, just upright, I guess. The bodybuilder who doesn't know how to pose. And yes, I know I'm not technically a bodybuilder. I don't compete.